Hello everyone. I've been sitting on this video for a while, sort of. I've been doing stuff, trying to figure it out. Whoever asked for it, I've asked several times to let me know if you wanted it as a regular foundation or if you wanted it as over foundation. So, I have foundation on right now, and I have at least 4 drugstore pressed foundations. And I'm going to put some on my arm. I don't have the pads that go in them anymore, unfortunately. So I'm going to use this little brush. And we're going to put some on my face. This one is the L'Oreal True Match Blendable Powder in Warm. And it's Nude Beige W3. And the foundation I'm wearing is W4 by L'Oreal. But this is the way it is. This is one of my favorite ones out of all of them. It is a little powdery with this brush. I'm not sure. It does cover, just not very well, with just the brush. Eric's in a bad mood, so it's going to be an interesting video. So we're going to take on this brush, and we're going to put it on the face right there. I already have my foundation and concealer on. So there's the L'Oreal one. This one is one of my favorites when it comes to the powder this way. Because I can, if you look, you see the pores. And it builds up coverage over the foundation. I didn't set the under eye, so it's going to look bad, but it does build up pretty well. Let's go ahead and put that there. Wipe the arm off. You can still see the pores, but to me, this is a really good powder. It doesn't feel too bad on the skin. I didn't contour or nothing. I wanted it to show the way it looks. Alright, so this one is one of my favorites. My second favorite, I don't think the colors match. Oh, I do have a pad. Okay. Is this Maybelline matte and poreless one. I'm putting some on the little pad, and I am going to put it over the top of my hand, and I'm patting it in. See where it's at? And let me get it up close. You can still see the dry skin. I didn't put nothing over it. There must have been a wet spot on my hand. This one is my other favorite because it really does stay all day long. And then we have the third one, which is the Maybelline, also Super Stay Full Coverage Complete 16-Hour Powder Foundation. This is in the color 220 Natural Beige, which this one is 230 Natural Buff. So we're going to use the other side of this, and I am going to put it on the inner wrist side. So here's the other one. The matte and poreless is on this hand. And there's the regular hand. Now there's the inner of my one wrist. And this is the inner of the other. We are going to take the same one. And I just noticed a scar. So we'll see. Because this one does cover. These 3 are the best that I found. I should have probably gone a little bit more. But see, there was that little red dot there. And I'm going to take and use this also. See how much we could cover up on that hand. This is without any foundation on. This is just the powder. See, all the redness is going away. And my veins are not showing through as much. Let's take, this is strange, but we're going to take some Morphe setting spray. We're going to put it on there.
Yeah.
And dry it. Still not dry all the way, so we're gonna take like I would normally do, and buff the powders into the skin and see how well it holds up after putting the setting spray on. And that's where the scar was, so let's go ahead and set that side too. I didn't do that a minute ago. The scar peeks through just a little, but not much. So this is actually really good coverage. You could use this as your foundation if you don't want something heavy. And this is the other side, the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. We're going to go ahead and set that down also. It's still there. Stuff peeks through more. So the full coverage one stays a little bit more on the skin than the so if you're looking for full coverage with your powder foundation, I would say go with the Maybelline Super Stay 16-hour full coverage one, because that one seems to stay better. Let's see how it does with that L'Oreal over the top of it. Oh, it basically gets rid of it. All right, and then the last one I have up here is the Adjustable Coverage Foundation Wet or Dry Pressed Powder. So what we'll do, we'll get a beauty blender. I just cleaned them the other day. And we are going to take and wipe we're going to wipe this foundation off of our hands. We're going to try it both damp and not damp, since it says wet or dry. Let's go ahead and get it off if we can. So we'll check the coverage against the scar, because that seems to be the best place to check it. You see the scar? Okay. So, wait for that to dry. All right, we're going to go in first with the this side of that sponge. Make sure it's dry. Okay. We're going to dip into it. This is the Ulta. We're going to pat it on. It's not really covering the scar like the Maybelline one did. So let's go ahead and take and build it up, because it says it's buildable. It's not really covering it at all. So we'll go in a third time. Let's try to, we'll use this, it's a little different, this primer water. And we'll bounce the pad on there, set it, and then we'll go back in and see if that's how you build the coverage up. Okay, that might be how you build the coverage up. Set it. That's a lot of work. Okay, let's go ahead and wipe it off. All right. Can we see the scar again? Yeah. That's a really good way to check it, isn't it? All right, we're going to take that. We got the scar showing again. We are going to take this beauty blender. We are going to get it damp with the primer water by Smashbox. Hopefully this doesn't ruin this powder. Eric, stop. You see it's wet? And we are going to stick that on there. I actually believe wet covers better. Let's try to blend it out. We'll use these veins also. See if we can build up the coverage to cover the veins. You can't really see the color of the veins, so it does build up the coverage. Let's go ahead and go in with this other side of the sponge. I don't think it's wet. We're going to put it on here and see if we could build up the coverage to cover the vein color. When you have a warm skin tone, your veins show. The color of your veins show. There's the side by side. This is dry and this is damp. So with the Ulta one, it's better if you want full coverage to use it damp. If you don't mind what kind of coverage you get and you just want like a barely there kind of look, I would say use it wet. I mean, dry. Wet covers more. However, on this one, we're going to go ahead and try to put this on the other side of the face. Let me show you. We are just going to pounce that in. We're just going to kind of pounce that in onto the skin. Can you see the red rash right there? Still from being allergic. It covers it up very nicely. And see how on this side, you can still see the under eye circle, which I hate that under eye circle. We're going to use the pad. We are going to build up underneath that eye. Kind of like bake it. And then we'll just go over here. Let's try that L'Oreal one over here. Let's wipe this away. See how much we can build up the L'Oreal one over the foundation and the, we got one clean side left, so we'll do that. And we're just going to kind of bake under those eyes and see which one leaves. I didn't sleep hardly last night, I'm sorry. I should have used a under eye thing this morning before doing this. Alright. We're going to go back to the other one and build it up over here. Alright. Let that sit for a minute. This one just, it works wet. And it will cover if you use it wet. Well, it dried and now you can see the scar. So I'm not, but you can barely see the scar. And you don't see the color of the veins. You can see the veins. So that's the bottom one. These two are the top, the L'Oreal and the Super Stay. And this one is like second place. This is third. Those two are tied. Let's go ahead and take a fluffy brush. If I could find my fluffy brush still. I can't seem to find all my stuff after I washed my brushes and reorganized up here. Let's go ahead. You know what? We'll grab this e.l.f. one. Complexion brush. We're going to wipe that away. See what I mean? They're kind of side by side. Now this one you can see the color through more than you can on the Maybelline side. So we're just going to take this Maybelline one and go ahead and even it out because I'm going to record another video after this. So we kind of want to even everything out. And when it comes to, you see the pores right now? You could, oh, wrong one. You could build up on top of the pores without using the primer. That makes you poreless. Like right there, I have no idea what that is. It drives me nuts though. We could make the pores less noticeable by using this. So we'll take this brush again. That eye is just... But overall, the best two, if I was going to spend my money on powder foundations, it would be the Maybelline Superstay 16 Hour, and it would be the L'Oreal True Match one. Those are the ones I use so far. I will try to go find some CoverGirl. I will try to go find some Rimmel and other brands. But so far, if I was to choose a powder foundation, it would be the Superstay or the L'Oreal True Match. So if you want any more, if you want me to go find some more drugstore ones, we're gonna finish evening all this out. If you're looking for powder foundations, those are the two I would go get. If you don't want, if you want to use it wet, the Ulta one is really good. This doesn't say you could use it wet or dry. I'm looking to make sure. Lightweight, fade, transfer resistant, control shine. Yeah, it doesn't say nothing. It lasts 24 months. This one lasts, it doesn't say. The L'Oreal one doesn't have it. The Maybelline one, matte and poreless, doesn't have it either. The Ulta one doesn't have it. So I'm going to go with 24 months. That most of them will probably last. So it has the little, once you open it thing right here. Where'd it go? Right there. The other ones do not have it that I can see. Trying to show you. And here's the Ulta one. And I have one that's by, it isn't for sale anymore, so I didn't want to use it on this video. It's Physicians Formula. And this LA Colors one, yeah, it doesn't have it either. But I'm going to go with 24 months. They're good for 24 months, whereas your foundations that are liquid, I think, are only good for 12 months once you open them. But I will see y'all in the next video. Once again, this is the top one, and this is the top one. Ulta's the bottom. You have to build the coverage up. And this matte and poreless one is in between. But I do like the Superstay, just like the foundation. The powder is better than the other ones, except for the L'Oreal True Match. I like L'Oreal True Match. Which is weird. Let me point that out. My foundation I actually have on is L'Oreal True Match, and it still didn't cover as good as this side, but now you can start seeing some of this stuff come through, so we'll see. But I've been using these for about 3 months, and these two really are my favorites. So there's that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please let me know anything else you want to know. Maybe we'll do a foundation wear test on a certain foundation if you're wondering how long it wears. Let me know down below. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.